Hello everyone, I hope you all are well and having a good day so far. So let's be honest, I don't wait for St. Patrick's Day to make Irish soda bread. I am baking this beauty year long because it is hands down one of the easiest and most delicious breads out there. And with just a handful of ingredients, you can have this fresh warm loaf on your table in under an hour. No yeast, no rising, no kneading, just pure effortless goodness. Today I want to share with you guys my version of Irish soda bread, but the best part, it is so versatile. I like mine with butter and raisins, with a nice crust on the outside, soft and fluffy on the inside, but you can totally get it creative here. Whether you like it savory or sweet, this bread is a total winner. So before we get started on today's video, please be sure to subscribe to my channel down below, hit that thumbs up, and with all of that said, let's get to it. Now I know everyone has their favorite version of Irish soda bread. Some like it with caraway seeds, others like it with raisins, some go all out with both, and some keep it super classic with nothing extra. You should know Irish soda bread has only 4 ingredients: flour, baking soda, salt, and buttermilk. The buttermilk is essential to this recipe because it activates the baking soda and it helps the bread rises, and that's where it gets its name, soda bread. I baked this plain loaf last night and honestly it's a great version to serve with soups and stews. However, today we are baking a slightly Americanized version with a little bit of butter, sugar, an egg, and handful of raisins. Now just a heads up though, I've noticed the more ingredients you add to this bread, the less it rises, as you can tell. But honestly, I am totally willing to trade a little bit of rice for the extra bunch of flavor. It's all about making it delicious, right? So for this sweet version, you need 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of fresh baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, a 1/4 cup of sugar, a 1/4 cup of butter, cold and cut into small cubes like this, an egg, 1 cup of raisins, and lastly 1/2 cups of buttermilk. Now if you don't have buttermilk, you can easily substitute it by mixing 1/2 cups of whole milk with 1/2 tablespoons of lemon juice or vinegar. You can just stir it together and let it sit for 5 minutes until it thickens, and it works like a charm. Now when it comes to baking Irish soda bread, you don't need fancy equipment, but your pan will definitely affect the texture and the crust of your bread. So you can use a baking sheet like this. This is like the easiest and most common choice because this will help your bread bake evenly and develop a nice color. But if you want to go full on traditional like me, I recommend you use a cast iron skillet like this, lined up with parchment paper. The cast iron really helps to give your bread a nice crispy crust, just like how it would have been baked back in the day. Alright, now first things first, we're going to start by preheating our oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. And now we can start by mixing our dry ingredients. So I'm going to grab a large bowl and I'm going to add my flour. But because flour can be tricky, sometimes it takes a little less or more liquid. Depends on things like humidity or the brand of flour you buy. So I recommend you don't add all your flour at once. I recommend you add the majority of it and keep like a 1/4 cup off to the side. As you're mixing your dough, you can add more flour until it firms up. And next I'm going to add my salt and baking soda and just give it a good stir to get everything together. And now for the butter, you can use the pastry cutter, or if you're feeling adventurous, you can just use your clean fingers to work the butter into the flour to form a crumble dough. You want it to look crumbly like this. And now you can stir in your raisins. And next to the buttermilk, I'm going to add the egg and whisk it together really good. And now don't be shy, just pour it right in. You want to stir everything together now until just combined. Remember, no need to over mix it. We want light, airy bread, not a workout for your arms. You can add more flour as needed. The dough should be soft and slightly sticky, but easy to work with. If it is too wet and sticky, you can add a little bit more flour, but be careful not to add too much because too much flour can make your bread dense and dry. And now I'm going to turn my dough out onto a slightly floured surface and give it a gentle press. Don't knead it too much, just fold it like once or twice, and then you can use your hands to shape it into a nice round loaf. And now transfer the dough onto your cast iron pan, and you can use a sharp knife to make a big X on top. Not only does this look super cute, but it also helps the bread cook evenly and it gives it that signature soda bread look. And now you're going to cover it with aluminum foil and bake it at 425 degrees Fahrenheit for 25 minutes. And then you're going to remove the foil and bake it for an additional 25 minutes. And if the dough starts to get too brown, you can cover it again with foil for the last 5 minutes of the baking time. And you'll know when it's done when the crust is golden and crispy, and if you insert a toothpick into the center, it comes out clean. Just look at this beauty, and it smells amazing in my home right now, but we can't dive in just yet. I know freshly baked bread is so hard to resist, but we must wait for a few minutes, let it rest and cool down so we don't burn our tongues. And now for the moment that we've all been waiting for, the taste test. So let's slice into this beauty. So look at the crumb. It is so soft, fluffy, and oh so tender. It is perfect with a little bit of butter, or if you're feeling fancy, little soft cheese on top. It is so delicious. But the flavor of the bread itself is so good. It has the perfect balance of crunchy and crispy on the outside, soft and moist on the inside. It is like biscuit, but honestly even better. It's like a perfect mashup of cake and bread. It is so good, I can't stop. But if you're lucky enough to have leftovers, you can store it at room temperature for a couple of days, or you can freeze it for a couple of months. Just keep in mind, this bread tends to dry out quickly, so it is really best served fresh or toasted, or even better, you can try doing French toast with it. I think that's a great idea. But that's all for this video, guys. I hope you give this recipe a try. If you do, I want to hear all about it. So drop a comment below or share your photo on Instagram and tag me in it. But with this, we wrap up this video. I hope that you all enjoyed it and found it helpful. If you did, please thumbs it up, consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next one. Bye!